My favourite talent solution is a piece that we did quite recently with Specsavers, who came to us with a rather challenging request, but we managed to pull something off that was pretty useful and quite different and unique. So the client need was, they had a group of 60 delegates that were coming from various parts of the world actually that come to this particular piece. They wanted it, there was a number of challenges. They wanted it to be challenging, they wanted it to be new and novel, they wanted to break away from the let's talk about our statistics and what we've done over the last year. And they wanted it, on top of that, wanted it to be a surprise. Part of their request was for each of the delegates to have almost the option to pick bite-sized learning throughout the day. On top of that, what they wanted to do is have the option of running the event twice. So logistically, we had a couple of challenges that we had to get past, but generally what they wanted is something that was around personal development. So we had 4 trainers delivering 10 different subjects over the course of one day, which we pulled off by creating very bite-sized mini sessions based on a crystal maze type scenario, and it dovetailed in that were various exercises and lunches and knowledge energizers as a whole big team, and a motivational piece at the end. So there was lots of components, but the point was it was about them and their personal development, a more behavioural piece rather than listening to statistics. It met their requirements, so because their requirements were so complex, given that we only had a day, the fact that we could create these bite-sized sessions and create the options that they said, actually, can we run these twice? It allowed us to do this if the client then listened to us and said, well, okay, we're going to need 4 trainers, we're going to need this, we're going to need this kind of venue. And that's where we brought our expertise to say, yeah, we can do this, but we need this on top. There was a slight hitch at the beginning in terms of registration, so you can imagine trying to get 60 people on the day to pick something within a 20-minute time frame. So we designed these registration cards that almost went to plan, but what we did on the day was think, okay, let's get them to assign what they want to choose for the morning sessions, and then do a second session after the lunch break. That was the only real hitch. Everything else went pretty much bang on plan. They gave us 5 weeks to really come up with something and deliver. So from the initial request of, can you do this? 5 weeks later, we were at a cricket ground delivering a live event like this. The initial outcome, the client wanted to have a fantastic day. So our short-term outcome, we ticked the box. As a result of that particular piece, the head of global operations has said each of these delegates now has to go on a one-day version of this with QA. So we've seen almost an outcome in terms of, you've tasted a short session. What we want you to do now is behaviourally go on a bigger piece, now that you've experienced a little bit of QA, to develop yourself even more. Hopefully that outcome we'll see more of longer term. You know, we can't measure that quite yet, but I would imagine, you know, the short-term outcome was, did you like QA? Did it work for you? And that we got a resounding yes and fantastic feedback. Now we need to work with them closer to develop the longer-term behavioural change.